Weekend is almost upon us. Did you know Dragon's Den is back on? Oh, it's got a new theme.
Oh, it's a bit moody.
Hang on, have a listen. Let's have a listen. Do you know what could be a really cheap daytime show? Can it be like Going for Gold? You know
I used to love that.
Well, we're talking about the hit BBC Two show now. As a composer and classical musician from Surrey has faced the dragons. Adrian lives in Dorking and went up to meet the entrepreneurs to seek backing for a bespoke music service. Now, he's here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You came in and talked about this a while back.
I did, something like 6 months ago, I believe.
Right. And you wanted to take your whole idea and see whether the dragons thought it was a goer.
Well, yeah, I mean, it all started really because both in a sort of professional and personal capacity, I've been to a number of weddings, obviously, as a chorister when I was at Guildford Cathedral, and then after that as an organist. And also, you know, my friends keep getting married, so I get invited to those. And I'm not disrespecting any of my friends' weddings when I say this, but the musical components are almost always the same. Right, so, you know, wonderful though Pachelbel's canon is, and wonderful though Widor's toccata is, and all of those kinds of things, people say they want their weddings to be unique, and the musical components are inevitably the same. So I thought, well, why not? Since I am a writer, why not try to offer something bespoke? And you've got your own song.
Well, people get their own cake.
Yeah, precisely.
Bespoke. Everything's bespoke. So look, let's take you to the Dragon's Den. You can't tell us what happened for, you know, contractual reasons and all of that. Mm-hmm. But talk us through, you know, how long you were there for and how long you're in the den for.
Well, it was a very early start in the morning. So myself and the two professional musicians with whom I was working, Emily Armour and Victoria Barnes, we arrived at the studio. I think it was about 6:30 in the morning, if memory serves. I was a bit fuzzy at that point. I'm a bit fuzzy this morning, yeah. So we had a little bit of rehearsal time for our own pitch, and because there's a musical component in our pitch, that had to be rehearsed. Yes, the actual time in the den was not as a portion of the day was not too long, but there was a lot of other stuff to do around the outside.
And what was it like facing them, the dragons?
I think by the time I got there, I was very sort of concerned and nervous about the musical aspect of it going okay. But by the time I actually got in there, I was sort of ready for it, I think.
And I know you can't tell us what happened,
mm-hmm.
but were you pleased with how your pitch went?
I was extremely pleased with how it went, actually, yeah. I was very, very happy.
What's interesting about Dragon's Den is very often it's the old phrase, isn't it, the sales phrase, that people buy people, and that's what they seem to buy. It's like if you engage with one of them, and I saw that last week with a guy, I don't know if you saw it last week, which was amazing, with a guy who made sort of like chili paste and that,
mm-hmm.
and one of the dragons said, look, I'm going against all of my rules. I really like you. I'm going to invest. Mm-hmm. And so I suppose it's just trying to engage with them on a one-to-one basis.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, one of the things that matters to me with anyone, dragon or no dragon, is that there's a genuine concern for the product, right? The one thing that matters to me in all of this is the music. Because that's the part that really matters both to my clients and to me. So if somebody's genuinely interested and wants to sort of take part in my business, then of course I'm very happy. But if not, I'm less so.
They always ask for more percentage when they want it than anyone ever goes in there. You know, and how did you value your business?
Well, it's quite difficult because obviously in terms of this kind of enterprise, I have very little to go on. I mean, I'm basically one of the only people I think who's doing this, and market research and all of that sort of stuff is quite difficult. So it was a little bit just based on the sort of interest that I'd had, not just from sort of wedding clients and so on and so forth, but also there's an emerging market overseas where couples who are actually being married in China come over to London to have some wedding pictures taken against the background, I don't know, of Big Ben or Buckingham Palace and all that sort of thing, and sometimes sort of miniature films made as well, and backing music for that. So that was quite a curious development. So I kind of sort of valued it a little bit against that as well.
Well, we should listen to a little bit of your work. We've only got about 40 seconds of it or so. This is The Sun Will Shine Again. Have a listen. It's quite special, that,
I
isn't it?
sort of want to get married again.
Who was that composed for? What was the event?
Well, that was actually written for someone who is very, very close to me. But the singer there was Angela Hicks, who is a wonderful, wonderful soprano, and also featured in the film The Favourite.
You see, there's an idea here. You know how, with christening gowns, they sort of get passed on?
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
somebody
yes.
might actually have a bit of music composed for them, and then they could use that at,
Pass it on to
children's
their
weddings,
children.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, as a sort of heirloom. So the
Yeah.
idea was to provide an experience in an heirloom as well. That's the idea of the business.
Beautiful. So when can we see this? When does it air?
It airs on Sunday, which I think is September the 1st, and I believe it's at 8 o'clock.
Excellent.
All right, okay. And by way of an indication as to how things went, are you happen to be looking for new composers or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I am sort of trying to develop a franchise in all of this as well. So yes, I will be looking for new composers, hopefully, so I can provide a service around the country.
Right, looking forward to I really do hope you don't get it. The fact you're here, you can't have
can't
been
have been eaten alive, no.
Because sometimes they're horrible, aren't they?
I'm not sure they're as horrible as they make out.
Do you think?
Adrian, nice to see you. Thanks for coming in again.
Thank you very much.
All right, good stuff. Adrian Vockless, who lives in Dorking. You'll see him on TV on Dragon's Den on Sunday evening. It is BBC Surrey. The time now is 7:32.